Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we return to Chess Ultimate after I found out I actually didn't use the IWC skin for the entire last video, giving me a second chance to try out some more mage strategies today. Let's get started with game number one. Alright, so if we go into play and unranked, you'll see that I have finally correctly selected the IWC skin. Look at him, how cute, with my tiny little logo on his specter. And the first thing I want to do is actually try out a different strategy. We tried out two things last time. The first being getting a long range piece, for example, a rook or a queen to the other side, swapping it with a mage, and then swapping it back with a pawn to promote it to a stronger piece. The other strategy we tried, because I got my butt handed to me by an opponent, with a very similar mage strategy, was again, use a long range piece, get it into the enemy's territory, swap it with a mage, and then swap that with a squid. And because the squid controls 4 adjacent squares and can move 4 adjacent squares over as well, it just covers a whole bunch of space, meaning it's very easy to put the king in danger. The last strategy that I wanted to try was using a bomb. So I think I'm actually going to do that first. We'll go ahead and use a new setup, and I'll go ahead and just clear the board. We'll start from scratch. So of course we need a king, we need some pieces to defend the king. I'd actually feel a little bit better about the pawns than the checkers pieces, even though they're less expensive, because the opponent can force you to move a checkers piece, but they can't force you to move a pawn. All right, the other thing we obviously need is a bomb. We need a handsome IWC mage. Look at him, he's so spongy. It's so fun to move around. Okay, obviously we need a mage, maybe 2 for good measure, just because they look twice as good when there's 2 of them on the board. And then we need long range pieces, so I'd imagine maybe 2 queens, just for an insurance policy. Yeah, 2 queens, 2 mages on opposite sides of the board, at least makes it less likely that we get eliminated before we get a chance to use them. Okay, I think this is pretty reasonable. We still have 21 points to work with. Now, a bomb is exactly 20 points. Now, the problem with a bomb is that it's also a huge liability, because if the opponent takes that bomb, all of the adjacent squares get taken with it, explode. Right, so if you have any pieces on there, you're basically just out of luck. I guess I should put a pawn in front of the bomb, gives it a better chance of not getting immediately targeted down the open file. Maybe I should do the same thing for at least one of the queens, but then I have to waste a tempo to get her to the other side, right? Unless the opponent has pieces looking down the C and the G file, you know, by some crazy coincidence, then at least one of them hopefully can make it to the other side. So I like this so far. We have 18 points left to work with. Let's throw down a insurance ghost on B3 to protect the king. With that, we have 3 points left over. Might as well toss in an extra pawn. And I think we're ready to go. All 100 points used. We have 2 long range pieces. We have the very handsome IWC mages. And then we have the bomb that hopefully will deliver the final blow. All right, let's dive into the first game. All right, we immediately find a game. There's like no delay there. And we get paired with King Hedgehog, who has a whole bunch of pawns, 2 sludges, 2 bishops, and then 2 demons, or rather 2 devils. They also have a jester, so one of these is not the real king, which is kind of annoying because it makes my job a lot more difficult. Right, if I full commit on, you know, sending a bomb to this square, for example, to threaten this piece, and that's not the king, you know, then I'm just kind of out of luck. Now, it is a little suspicious that they started their attack over here when my king is on this side of the board, right? They produced a minion over here, even though my king is on this side. So I actually think that's the real king on A1. Now, the question is, how do we target that king? I'd imagine I can just dive in right now because this devil is asleep. So that should be totally safe. Ooh, 10 seconds left. Spent a lot of time analyzing there, not a lot of time moving. Yeah, and then I should be totally in the clear. I can just get behind these pawns, swap the queen with a mage, who should be safe there for at least a turn, and then swap that with a bomb, and then I should just be totally winning. So we'll drop the queen back on D1. Now, to be fair, that is also at least partially a byproduct of the fact that the opponent's setup has an entire back rank in the middle that has absolutely nothing on it, right? That doesn't tell us too much about how good the setup is, more so that we were paired against a setup that happened to work well with, you know, our attacking ideas. All right, and again, these minions only advance straight ahead, so it's not like my mage is going to get captured adjacently. Basically, the last thing to do is drop the bomb here. I'd imagine they're going to produce another devil on C1, and then just wait a turn for that devil to move out of the way so I can take and get rid of what I'm pretty confident is the real king. So we'll swap the mage with the bomb next, and I think we're in a great spot now. All right, all of these minions are advancing. This one's gonna walk into my ghost. Should this one take the A9 pawn, I have no problem with that. I'll just take back with the queen. Okay, the bishop stands in the way. So this is going to be my next task, is getting past this bishop, because should I capture it, it would eliminate all the adjacent pieces. but it wouldn't eliminate the king. Oh, what I could do is put this queen on f6, which pins the minion, which means I'm very confident that the actual king is now in check. Oh, they produce another minion, but they don't cover their king. Oh, I'm so confident that's the real king. And worst case scenario, I've just gotten rid of one of my queens. That was, in fact, the real king. I knew it was way too suspicious that they started their attack over here when my king was on the opposite side of the board, so they were defending what they knew was their actual king. Anyways, with that, we do win one game. I'm gonna try out this setup again. All right, paired again for game number 2. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We get paired against Tiuri, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, who has a mage, but also has that pretty pesky, sextuple rock/rook setup. They do get to move first. They immediately target our queen. Okay, so at least we know for certain that's the actual king. We also know for certain it's going to be pretty darn difficult to get this queen to a square where she won't get targeted by a rook, right? Because if I swap her with the mage, and the mage is just sitting there and then it gets targeted by a rook, then it's basically just lost. Unless I defend it with another piece, but actually maybe I could just do that. Okay, let's start by, actually is this queen trapped already? Oh, that's kind of a sorry sight, but I think she is trapped. She can't move onto the C file because of the double rooks, can't stay on the B file, can't get out through the diagonal because of our very own pawn. All right, oh, I could swap it with a mage though. Kind of a, okay, well, we have to do it. If I lose the mage, I lose a little bit of my hope, but it's okay. Oh, and the worst part is, should they take, I take back, my rook would eliminate my other mage as well. Oh, that is not good at all. Oh, and I have to get the bomb out of there because that's like the entire strategy. Oh, this is such a sorry sight. Okay, we'll move the bomb out of there. Hopefully they take my queen, and then I still have, oh, I don't have anything. They can move this rook down here and pin the queen. Oh, I'm not well defended enough. Oh, goodness. Okay, I think maybe I should get rid of that pawn next time, but then the bomb is in danger. Okay, they get rid of it for me. Appreciate it. There's no way I can get back over, right? Because the bomb moves 2 squares at a time. So even if I position it on E7, at most you can see as far as C7, which is covered. So I'm toast here, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm just completely toast. If I swap the mage with the bomb, then rook to D8 with a triple battery protecting it, I think I'm just toast. Should I take the rook? Then nothing happens. Okay, I'll move back to E9. I mean, they're still gonna play the same idea. Right, either this move or that move, both of those are just completely devastating. I don't think I have anything here. Yikes, what an ugly position. Well, Hail Mary attempt. We'll take on D8, which, blows up the rook and the bomb. Unfortunately, they have no shortage of batteries and just come in with another one. Maybe this is a strategy that I have to give a try at some point. Frankly, the point of the video today is to use the mage, and I was pretty happy with how the first game went. I have to make some adjustments here. Maybe give my king an escape square so that I don't get pinned on the back rank relentlessly. Okay, we'll sack the queen. I think we're just getting mated here in one more turn. Yep, with that, they do wrap us up. That is a loss for game number 2, but I think we learned something important. The king needs to be on a safer square, firstly. I think also not putting him on the back rank is probably a good idea. So let's make some adjustments here. Let's tweak this position a little bit. Because here's the thing. Traditionally, this is a decent setup because it's like thick. The problem is it's become rather fashionable on Chess Ultimate to have a whole bunch of rooks just staring into your position. So we've now gotten rid of the pawn and advanced the king. At least he's not on the back rank anymore. The ghost does defend him, but not super comfortably. I'd rather just put the pawn in front of the king. And then maybe the ghost can just be on C3. It's not a huge adjustment, but I think it's better. And assuming we don't get paired with the exact same person, I think we're in a good spot here. Let's also move the queen over, right? At least one of the queens should be able to escape diagonally. All right, with that, I think we have a good setup for our third game. Let's go to move on to game number 3. All right, game found. Let's go ahead and dive in. And we get paired against Julian, number 6. We do get to move first. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ghosts. That's not promising. That's actually terrifying. Okay, and all these squids defend each other adjacently. All right, this will be very interesting. We do get a message as well. OMG, hi. I'm gonna say hi and good luck against my almighty mage. Okay, I need to get into that position. I have 30 seconds to decide on a strategy. Okay, I'm gonna start by doubling up the queens actually, because I think if I just take here, it's just checkmate. Oh no, there's surely, okay, yeah, there are definitely ghosts nearby. I don't really have pieces that can sort of scout ahead. I can maybe send this pawn into his doom, but that's not super promising. And the problem is I can't really go with the original strategy of dropping the queen off, swapping with a mage, and then swapping with the bomb, because in those 3 turns, eventually, you know, they will have gotten a ghost over there and figured out our plan to get rid of that attacking piece. Holy, I never thought I would play against you. Small world. Trademark smiley face. You never know, you never know. It's always worth trying. All right, they've moved a ghost. You can see how active these tombstones have become. I'll just slide the queen over. I think it's still worth setting up the battery. I'm just not totally sure if I'll be able to follow up on it. I say, I know, right? All right, they've moved another ghost. I can assume pretty confidently they have pieces defending that square. I wonder what happens if I just push this pawn. Because the problem is they have 6 ghosts. Now, the consolation is they can't actually place a ghost next to my king without me being notified of it, because then it becomes visible to me. So it's not a danger to my king necessarily. Let's move our own ghost. We'll fight their army of 6 with our promising army of 1 and immediately get eliminated. Okay, wait. Maybe they haven't been defending this. Or maybe they just had defense already. I don't know. We're going to take back with the queen here and hope they don't have somebody defending. Now they're down to 5 ghosts. The problem is these attacking pieces are so valuable to me. If I lose one to one of their ghosts and they did in fact move another ghost, then I'm toast. You know it's true because it rhymes. Anyways, we've now set up this again. Oh, they pre-moved their ghost move. This is terrifying. Okay, let's move the bomb outwards, so if it does get blown up by one of their ghosts, at least it doesn't eliminate my queens, which would be a tragedy. Okay, let's move out this way. Maybe if I just send my bomb in, I can explode a whole bunch of their ghosts. Okay, they take on e4. I don't think I even want to take, though. I really don't. I think I just want to advance my bomb, and if they ever take it, you'd imagine it's going to take out a couple of ghosts that try to defend that king's position. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep advancing. I don't know, maybe I should have taken and traded off my bomb for a ghost, but the problem is they still have 4 ghosts left over after that. And it sort of turns into just sit and wait. Okay, I literally watched the ghost move there, so I'm just gonna take it. And then I'm gonna move back, and then I'm gonna sit and wait until I can move that bomb further into the position. Okay, they've moved another ghost. That much I know for certain. I've moved my queen back. I don't think it can possibly be that close. Read like a book. Oh, I need to tell them. I'm gonna say haha, but you can see the first move a ghost makes after it has been revealed. I'm saying that because one of you guys told me that in the comments section after my previous, not my previous video, this was like 2 or 3 videos ago, but I had made a move with a ghost, and I kind of just assumed that they wouldn't be able to see my first move after because I thought the ghost would just disappear immediately, but that was not in fact the case. And I think that's what my opponent just kind of walked into there as well. Okay, they did take my bomb, so hopefully it got rid of a couple of ghosts. Oh, it did, because they only have 3 left. Maybe if I just wait for a little bit, eventually they'll have to move at least some of these ghosts and allow me to take here. I don't have the bomb strategy anymore, which is actually a pretty big shame. They've moved another ghost. But okay, let's advance my pawn. Mighty pawn, the mighty H-pawn. The mighty Harry the H-pawn advances. Okay, I think they're just moving their ghosts closer to my queens. Oh, they said I know. Whoops, my bad. Okay, let's see. What do we do here? Am I faster than their ghosts is the question. I mean, the ghosts can only move 1 at a time. So unless the ghosts started like really, really close, but I think that's what they played with at the beginning. Unless they started really, really close, I think this is valid. Okay, they're just pre-moving their ghosts. Oh, and I did take a ghost. Now they only have 2 left. Oh no, they still have all 3. I just revealed it by capturing it. And they move their ghost here. I'm really afraid to make a move like this and get captured. But at the same time, I'm not sure what my other options are. I mean, even threatening the ghost there doesn't really do much, because the squid can take back. I'm really not sure what I'm meant to make of this. I can't really target this squid because the adjacent squid always defends. I don't know, maybe I should just take and see what happens. I'm assuming they have a ghost back there. Yep, they do, because that is not checkmate. But I kind of felt like I just had to go for it at that point. Sitting around and waiting for the ghost to take me just didn't seem all that promising. All right, so at least now we know where 2 of the ghosts are. Not that I can really do anything with that information, but good to know. Okay, maybe I'll just Hail Mary a move over here. And if I can get rid of both of these pawns, maybe I can actually go for the promoting a pawn strategy instead, which would be an absolutely wild turn of events. So we do take on a9. Oh, there goes the mage. Okay, on the bright side, we do know where all of the ghosts are now. So as long as I can, keep a good read on where they're moving to, I'm actually doing kind of okay. Well, we'll actually know exactly which one they've moved and where they've moved it to. They do send me a message, but I'm going to wait to see where their ghost moves first. Okay, they moved it to G2, so I'm going to mark that square with the X. Okay, now I swap the queen with the mage, and then I just swap it with a pawn, and I should have another queen, which is always nice. Okay, they've made another move, so clearly they've moved this ghost. I'm going to assume closer to my position. Not your precious I want checkmate wizard. That's so funny. That's so good. Yeah, okay, I only have one left, but he's doing me a great service here, because now I can swap him with a pawn and promote him. Or rather, promote the pawn to a queen. So now I have 2 queens on the board again. Actually, I'm going to assume they didn't move to F1 because I'd be attacking the ghost there. Okay, it's our turn again. So the ghost has moved once more, I'd assume closer to my position. Now, how do we take advantage of this? I'm gonna slide this queen back, and then I think I wanna place this queen on F5 and target this ghost. Oh, they've already moved it. Okay, that was really fast. So unless they read directly into my plan, I think they're still getting closer. So I should be able to develop my queen. It's so risky. If I get captured, this is all for naught. But if I don't, then I'm at least threatening this. I really do think their ghost is here though. Or maybe here, potentially. Ah, they do shuffle over. Okay, so they couldn't take my queen. They do have to defend it with a different ghost. This is very good, actually. They do shoot us another message. Nice try. I have to be sneaky where I can be. Now, if the ghost is here, you'd imagine they're gonna keep walking it closer to my queen. Okay, let's do this. Since this queen is pretty far away, she does 2 things. 1, she'll probably target this ghost, and 2, I can take this squid because this squid is pinned to the king. Okay, they move again. There's no way for me to know if it's this ghost or this ghost, but I really suspect it's this one. In fact, I'm going to assume it's somewhere here threatening to take my queen, so I'm going to move out of the way and capture the squid instead. Which means I now also threaten to capture on E9, so they kind of have to move this ghost over, which I'm going to assume they will. If they do make a ghost move, which they do, I'm going to very confidently assume that they're actually right here on F8. Or rather, yeah, on F8. Okay, is there any way I can still take advantage of this? Yes. I can move to the back rank. Threatens 2 things. I can swap with a mage and promote to another queen, and I can take on D10. And they should still be pretty far away from my queen. Right, and the cool thing is there's no way for them to move further back into the position because obviously their own squid stops them. Oh no, we get captured by a ghost! Holy cow, that thing made a lot of progress. A lot more than I thought anyways. Okay, I guess I have to take back. Now on the bright side, they only have 2 ghosts left, and I should be in time to move to A10. They've moved a ghost yet again. I think I have time. They shouldn't be closer than this. All right, they moved again, so I'm going to assume they're there now, so we can swap again. They sent us a message as well. Art thou recording right now? I am. I am recording right now. They've moved another ghost, so I'm assuming they're like here now. And now I'm gonna swap with the pawn, and I should be, I'm gonna swap with the B2 pawn. I should be just in time to run away with that extra queen. Obviously my next turn is, moving that queen way out of there. Because I'm going to assume they're going to move closer with their ghost. And I don't really feel like risking finding out whether they moved it to B9 or B10. So I'm just going to get my queen out of there and start anew. I mean, it's also possible they've advanced their ghost, but it seems less likely. So I'm just going to keep my queens connected in case they do try to take. I can always take back. Ooh. So the ghost isn't there because the squid wouldn't be able to shuffle over. But I can definitely take that. Right, the queens are connected, so I have no qualms about, if there is a ghost there, I can always take back. Okay, the king moves forward. Check again. If they're trying to bait me into losing my queen to their ghost, I think I'm actually kind of okay with that. If not, I can possibly even coordinate a checkmate if I manage to accidentally, okay, I was gonna say accidentally stay out of the way of the ghost, but no such luck. We'll take back. But now I still have one more pawn that I can promote, and their only ghost is very plainly visible to me and way out of reach of stopping this pawn. They do send us another message. Yikes. We have managed to weather the storm quite a bit. Okay, I could take that, but the squid takes back, and that's probably just losing. So we'll swap the mage with the queen. On the next turn, we'll swap the pawn with the mage, and I'd imagine 2 queens is hopefully plenty to win this game. Okay, we'll swap back with the pawn. Nice, and now we do have 2 queens, and they only have 1 ghost left. It's a miracle that we've worked them down from 6 to 2. All right, they do move back. I'm assuming the ghost is somewhere around here. Let's come in with a very far away check. Maybe I can do a sort of ladders mate, and as long as the ghost doesn't take my queens, I'm actually in a great spot. So I'm gonna move all the way back here, and I'm just gonna work my way over to that ladders mate. Yeah, and I think their ghost is back here somewhere. I'm not even gonna bother marking a square because I sincerely have 0 idea. They do shoot us a message. Ladders mate, nice. That is funny, thank you. Alright, so they do slide over, queen over to h2. Our favorite ladder's mate comes in for the victory. With that, we do win game number 3. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below if there are any other strategies with the mage that I should use. I feel like those are like the big ones. Using the pawn to promote, using the squid to drop it right next to the king, and also potentially using the bomb to drop it next to the king as well, although that really only won us one of the games. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your ideas down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.